A big thank you to MPB for sponsoring today's video. This little beast here, look, the Nikon 14 to 30 f4 lens, that is what I want to talk about today. I actually wanted to get on the other side of this gate because I thought it was a pretty cool place to stand and chat. Look at that, what a decision. Before we get into that, I've had a little bit of a break. I've been on my Ollybobs for 2 or 3 weeks. You wouldn't notice if you watch me regularly on YouTube because I had a couple of videos in the backlog, so I wouldn't have a big gap. But zero photography. I didn't even take my camera with me, and I tell you what, it was brilliant. Absolute class, and it was nice to have a break, you know. It's not because I'm getting sick of the photography or anything, it's actually the opposite. I think sometimes I get way too obsessed and there's a risk of burnout, you know. I think the obsession for the most part is brilliant. It means the fire's burning, the passion's always there, but yeah, it was lovely to have a break, but it's equally as nice to be back. And let me tell you this, here in the Lake District at least, it feels like summer has arrived with a bang. The foliage is in bloom, there's foxgloves, there's midges in the air, the sheep have been sheared. It's a beautiful time of year, so I'm hoping for a nice sunset this evening. After my last video last week where I said I'm chasing too many sunsets, but we're out here living the dream. And yeah, I did want to chat a bit about the old Nikon 14 to 30, my wide angle lens. Bottom line is, I just don't really think that I use it enough. I've missed these, I've missed them. I have missed them, hang on. Here we go. Ah, the Herdwick with a little baba, absolute class. So yeah, the wide angle. I will say, as a bit of a disclaimer, I'm not going to force myself to use this evening. We've got some beautiful light. I'd like to think I can get at least one shot with it. But I have got my 24 to 200 as well. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, on the subject of wide angle photography, I just don't feel like I do it enough. And here's the thing, I am so inspired by other photographers, you know, that take shots with the wide angle lenses. Just popping into my head here, Nick Page, absolute quality. He's based like northwest area of the United States, and he's just class at getting down close to foreground elements and really filling that foreground with the wide angle lens. And I just find it so inspiring, simple as that. Stuart McGlennon is another one. He's based in the Lake District and he does some brilliant stuff with his wide angle lens up in the fells and beyond. And yeah, absolute class. So it's weird that I'm inspired by it so much. But I just don't feel like I use it often enough. And my worry is that when I'm out and about, I disregard it too easily. And the worry is that I miss out on opportunities with the wide angle lens, you know. So I'm going to try and think in terms of a 14 to 30 millimeter focal range in my head a little bit more. This evening at least, we'll see. Beautiful light, gorgeous location. Looking back to the Coniston Fells again, for anybody that watched last week, we're in a similar area. I'm buzzing, I'm buzzing. Let's go and see what we can find. I made a I said, tell me your story. He took out a notepad and wrote something for me. Then he kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like... Oh, goodness me. So I have got my legs and the tripod's legs pointing off in all sorts of mad directions and angles, but fingers crossed, I think it's going to be worth it for this photograph. Now, I will say right off the bat, this ain't going to be my best shot that I've ever taken. However, what I'm really happy about is the concept of it. And what I mean by that is I feel like I've succeeded in a way with using the wide angle lens. So what I'm doing is I'm shooting at about 15 mil, and we've got some really nice little wildflowers down here, some rocks that are leading us out into this mountain range. You can see off in the background here the Coniston Fells, and everything just feels nice. And the best thing about this is why I feel so delighted with this concept, is I know for a fact, trust me, I know that I would not be taking this photograph now if I didn't come out this evening with the intent to try and use my wide angle lens, and that's just it, the intent. So, you know, I've tried to change the way I'm thinking about composition, just for tonight at least, to see how I get on. And so I'm really happy with this. And I want to put, if I can just get it up here, a little bit of a video clip. I'll just pop it up on your screen there. And as you can see it there, this isn't my composition, by the way, but I'm sure you'll agree, fairly boring, you know. And remember, we're at 15 millimeters here. And then as I angle downwards here, you know, this is roughly going to be my composition. I'm getting less sky in the frame and more foreground. And that is just it. The sky there, in my opinion, really, really boring. You know, I certainly don't want half of my frame with that blue canvas of a sky. It's not interesting enough. So by angling downwards with that wide angle, you know, this is an unnatural focal length here. You know, as the human eye goes, 15 millimeters is almost fisheye. So I'm filling up the bottom of my photograph with what I feel is interesting, and that is these wildflowers and these rocks, and in turn getting rid of some of the sky. Simple as that. Settings are a little bit funny here. I'm at ISO 500, so I can get 1/125th of a second there or thereabouts as a shutter speed, just so we don't capture any movement. You can probably see even down here, some of these grasses are swaying in the wind. I need a fast shutter speed to freeze the motion of them. And I'm at f16, and I'm doing a 2-shot focus stack. One image focused on the wildflowers, I want them nice and sharp. Second image focus off in the background somewhere near the mountains. But once again, I'm happy that I'm using the wide angle lens in this way. And main thing is, it's got me thinking differently. Mega. There we go, can you see me? As you can probably tell by the face, the light is not getting any worse, and that hill behind my massive head, I always say that, don't I? That is the final destination, and we should have a nice view up there, so should probably get a wobble on. Before I do just that, I wanted to stop and say another huge thank you to today's video sponsor, which is MPB. Really, really proud of this one. If you don't know who they are, it's a wonderful platform that you can go on and buy or sell used photography or videography equipment. It's brilliant. I've used them myself for over 18 months now. In fact, my most recent purchase, can you see that? Is this Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone system, which was bought used. I always try to buy used where I can. And yeah, they'll give you a 6 months warranty on anything that you buy from them used. And they've got a really thorough grading system on the website as well. Honestly, as soon as you go on the website, I'll leave a link below, you'll see how proper it is. It's really professional. And yeah, I think that grading system's really reassuring. But where MPB come into their own is selling used gear to them. They'll give you an instant quote on whatever it is that you're selling. And there's the best bit. They will send someone to the gaff to come and collect whatever it is that you're selling for free at a date of your choice. You don't even need to leave the house to go to the post office or something. I think that's absolutely brilliant, and I think they pay you proper quick as well, as long as, you know, they've checked whatever the equipment is and everything's all right. A couple of days, I think. But yeah, another massive thanks for their support. So proud to be associated with them. I'll put a link below. Go and check them out. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic, I love the idea of like gear getting recycled as well, you know, rather than getting chucked away or, you know, leaving it on your shelf for years and years. Definitely go and check it out. Get some money for some used gear and come out on trips and stuff. That's what you should be spending your money on. There's me talking about wide angle lenses, but anyway, I'm gonna get up to this mountain now and see what happens with the last of this light. So, I don't know how this happened. When I first seen yous, right, here's the deal. When I first seen yous and I was chatting, I think I think I said it was 3 hours till the sunset, which was true. And this hike was an hour max. I think I take my time, which is a good thing, because it's not purely just because I'm taking too long filming. I take my time, but I think I just take my time a bit too much. I just cannot get that balance right between like enjoying the hike and making sure you're at a decent spot, you know, by the sunset or sunrise. I don't know. It's all part of the fun, isn't it, you know? Anyway, this is a bit of a grab and go sort of photograph. And this is another thing that I really like actually about using a wide angle lens that I do need to do more of. And it's not all just about pointing it down at foreground, which I'm still kind of doing here. It's also about looking around your feet at light, especially this time of the evening, or, you know, it'd be the same in the morning when the light is just beautiful and it's kind of spreading around where you're stood. So at the minute the light's hitting these rocks and these grasses and these little flowers again in such a nice little way, you know, and I'm just kind of pointing my camera at the light here. I'm still at ISO 500, I'm still at f16, and I think I'm at 1/100th of a second. That might change a little bit though. Because I'm at f16 and I'm shooting straight into the sun, I'm also getting a nice sort of sunburst, a sun star effect here, which is another great thing to do with your wide angle lens, you know. And that's pretty much that. We've got the sun on the left hand side in the background and the Coniston Fells on the right hand side, and it's a really nice balance, you know. And the way I've sort of situated these rocks down in the foreground sort of mimics that balance, if that makes sense. And yeah, all right, again, the sky maybe isn't great, but I think this is going to be pretty decent. Grab that. Now this is going to be the shot. This is the shot. Living the dream. Absolute carnage. So I've come a little bit further down now, and I'm taking another image here that's, to be honest, probably quite similar to the last one, except from we've got a nice big tarn off in the background, just to give the image a little bit more interest, you know. We're shooting this one away from the sun, but we're doing the same thing where I'm in at 14mm, and look at this, I'm so close to this little collection of rocks down here that are just taking us up into that tarn there, which is absolutely fantastic. As I've just showed you it there, there's not much light. In fact, I think it's pretty much gone altogether. Dips down behind them fells there. But I've just caught in time, and it's a weird one because I didn't get it when the light was like proper intense. But it was actually quite subtle, and I think it looks really nice. Plus, we did have quite a lot of light down by the tarn as well, which is brilliant. Oh, I could see old Morecambe Bay over there, back towards the gaff, right off over there. Absolutely brilliant. So I reckon I'll probably stick around for a little bit. Oh, and the Irish Sea. Wow, what a spot. Absolutely class. Yeah, I'll stick around for a little bit, just in case anything happens up there in the sky. All right, we've lost the sun, we've lost the light on the land. But who knows what happens, because there's a few little wispy clouds kicking about up there as well. But I think this is going to be the best shot of the day so far. Ah, straight out the top drawer. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. That was a nice little adventure for the first one back in a while, since after the holiday. And yeah, nothing else to say. As always, I thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button. It proper helps me out on YouTube. Better yet, if you can hit the subscribe button. That would really help me out. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed this about the old wide angle lens, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Out.